Happy Wednesday, everybody. Overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday on the website, theraiderland.com. Hi there, I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day, and all the cool stuff we do is there. We got a cool daily broadcast tonight. We got Tech Baseball to look at. It used to be cool to go to Tempe and play Arizona State, not so much this year. Not that it matters, but we'll delve into that and talk some baseball if you want to. We've got high school graduation coming up. My son graduates Friday night. So tonight we ask you the three albums that every high school or college graduate must have. That if you were handing them a graduation gift and said, here you go, you got to have these three albums, what would they be? Which ones would they be? And then we've got overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday on the website. We did three bands today that you could rate. I'll throw them out there right now. The Eagles, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. We went 70s rock and said, all right, give me what's overrated, underrated on that. Beyond that, Tech Golf advancing today, and we're going to have some fun with linguistics later on the show. All right, let's do it. Let's get you guys out there. You know what to do. If the early group is amenable to it, you let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Damon tells us, both on Twitter and on YouTube, the talking box is on. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, the website. Everything we do archived there. And then you check us out on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, on YouTube channel and Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. You don't want to miss anything, all right? We're coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. We were tickling the early 90s, the low 90s today, temperature-wise. Yeah, if your air conditioner's not up to the task, call the bear. Callthebear.com is where you need to go. All the communications every night, no matter what channel you're watching us and taking us in live. And we love to hear from all of you. We got a ton of people on Twitter, YouTube as well, Facebook Live. United Supermarkets and Market Street. I was there today. They've got the Smithfield pork tenderloins on for a great price, and picked up a couple of those, and that's what's going to be supper tonight around the compound. So check them out there. Boot City provides all the Western wear apparel you see we wear, and if you like it, you can get it. If you don't like it, you can get something better. And they've got a ton of stuff in for spring and now summer, really. And it's time to get your straw hats taken care of for the summer. Head on out. One Money 7 Mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street to Boot City. We're brought to you tonight by our friends in Red River. On Wednesdays during the summer, Wednesdays are going to be kind of Red River Mountain Wednesdays. I'll tell you about some of my friends out there, like the great people at Tall Pine Resort. We love staying in town. When we do, in the heart of everything, it's Lifts West. If you want to go up the canyon a little bit, a few minutes outside of town, you want a rustic cabin, you want a river running through it, you want a private lake, you're talking about Tall Pine Resort. So give Lance and his crew there a call. I grew up hanging around and running around that place. They were stocking it today with fish. Yes, catchable fish, dumb fish. They certify every fish that they stock there at Tall Pine dumb trout. That's what you want, right? So give them a holler. Also in Red River, Yesterday's Diner. If you're headed out towards Cuesta, it's on your right before you get out of town, and they do a great breakfast and lunch, and they're pleased to announce this summer they're going to be able to do dinner service as well. Anyhow, you've seen some of the pictures I put of the breakfast enchiladas with the eggs sunny side up. They're so good. The hash browns, yeah. Yesterday's Diner. It's a cool, funky motif. It's a diner, and it's awesome. So tell Dee we sent you there. And like I said, every Wednesday we're going to be talking about our friends in Red River. So we hope you take some time, go up there and hang out. And every time you do, tell everybody you heard about it here in Raiderland. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk three albums every high school grad should have tonight. Tech golf, whatever you want to do. Overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday. Where do you want to begin tonight? I will start off with Tech baseball, and this weekend series starting tomorrow. Arizona State late tomorrow night, our time, 8:30. Then you got UNLV and Tech. I think, is that doubleheader tomorrow or not? Maybe a single game. And then Saturday, back against Arizona State. These games don't matter. So yesterday you had Tim Tadlock and Ryan Free probably coming out of the pen, maybe do a little work. Great, that's what I want to hear. Mac Heuer, we'll see. Yeah, Don't worry about it. These games truly do not matter because the only thing that matters now for Tech baseball is you have to win the Big 12 tournament, not do well. Not I've seen people saying online, what do they got? If they played at the championship, if they have a good tournament. No, you have to win it. Your RPIs in the fits sucks. Sorry, just a lot of teams you scheduled this year that normally have pretty decent RPIs. It didn't work out. The conference as a whole didn't work out the way you might think, top to bottom. And then you just didn't win enough games. Hey, weird how that works, right? You didn't win enough games. So you go out there to Tempe, play the young guys, play some guys in different places, do whatever you want to do, have a little fun, take some pressure off. Go out there. To me, this trip to Tempe is sort of like the end of the season for the teams that aren't going to a bowl game and they schedule that late regular season game, non-conference against Hawaii. Go out, party it up, have a good time. Because when you get there to Arlington next week, you got to win every single game. Every single game. So do what you need to do and see how it plays out. Craig says the talking box is on. Yes, indeed it is. So you guys fire away with your questions, comments, thoughts, anything else. Arizona State, and we kind of slugged this in the headline. Usually this would be a really good deal, right? You would think that you're playing Arizona State. I can remember back in the mid-'90s, Mark Finkner going out there, early season. I want to say this was 95, 96. Yeah, probably 96, I'm guessing. And what was it, Packard Stadium? I can't remember the name. I'm sitting there in my apartment. Actually, it's a beautiful townhouse. Beautiful. 2-story, beautiful townhouse there in the Hubbleplex. We entertained greatly back in the day. And, listening to Finkner do those games from out there. Was Clint Bryant a senior that year? Maybe I can't remember which. Anyhow, in those games matter. This Arizona State team, their RPI is sitting here right now. And you think when you schedule Arizona right before the Big 12 tournament, this is going to be great. We'll get a couple of great games against a tournament team. No, they're 81. 29-24 with a strength of schedule at 60. Not bad there. They've gone up 9 in the RPI in the last 7 days, by the way. Non-conference, Arizona State 65. At home, 18-12. But here's the rub. And this is the deal for a lot of teams out west this year, that they have not had a lot of high-profile RPI games and RPI teams out there. They have 4 wins against top quad 1, quad 2. That means top 50 teams. 2 top 25 wins, 2 top 50 wins. 17-18 quad 3, and then 8 with 5 losses. They have 13 losses, quad 3, quad 4. So you go, okay, well, how does that compare to Texas Tech? We'll jump up here. And Texas Tech at 53 in the RPI. You got 8 wins, quad 1, quad 2. And you only have 4 losses, quad 3, quad 4. But Tech's problem is 18 other wins this year. 18-2, quad 4. Your strength of schedule killed you, and you didn't win enough games there in the Big 12 regular season. So what do you do this weekend? Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Just figure out how to play better, figure out a few things, line up. Let some guys go out there and put some guys that may have to be in a high leverage deal this week, because this is it. It's what you're going to do. All right, so fire away your questions. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Tech Basebal, 3 albums you think every high school or college grad should own. I'll give you mine. Overrated bands, underrated and rated right on the website. 3 bands we gave you today: the Eagles, Pink Floyd, and Led Zepplin, 3 of my favorite bands. And then whatever else is on your mind. So, all right, let's get on the United Supermarkets question, chat, comment line, wherever you are, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. It's your turn now. It's your show to go the rest of the night. Chris says, are the games this weekend on ESPN Plus, or am I going to have to hunt for the Pac-12 network? It'll be ESPN Plus, I believe. Don't get me to line. We'll see tomorrow. Texas Tech has not put out their press release for the weekend unless they just done it like within the last hour, and I don't think they have. I can check. Hold on. I can check. I can find out. I had not seen it up to this point on Tech with the press release, so we'll find out tomorrow where you can watch it. I believe it will be on ESPN Plus, but it could be some sort of weird deal. You know, could be some sort of weird deal. We're anticipating being able to watch it though. Lance talking about albums that everybody should own. Tin Cup soundtrack is the best. Yeah, you got Joe Ely on that. What do you want? You know, what more do you want? You got Joe Ely on the Tin Cup soundtrack. The Fickle Finger of Fate. You got the Double Bogey Blues. Joe Ely's song on that one, the best one is Character Flaw, by the way, if you're looking for it. And you have artwork by Paul Milosevic, a longtime Lubbock native who does incredible golf art. Now he lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There's a calendar in the camper, in the RV, and it's one of Paul Milosevic's golf nudes series. Yeah, check it out the next time you watch it. Every college kid needs a Wilco album. I'll take your word for it, Alan. I'm Wilco. That's kind of a 90s thing, right? 90s deal. So I could not give you a song from Wilco as we hang out here in the Arctic Air Studios tonight. We begin to get into music, golf, overrated bands, baseball, Tech basketball, hiring away the head coach from Wyoming, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. United Supermarkets will get you in tonight. So let's have great conversation going on from here, shall we? I think we can. Early helmet sticker to Tech Golf. Yeah, they advance, and really you had two golfers go medalist on this one, and we've got to give a shout out right off the bat. And the great thing about Texas Tech Golf these days is you get to work on your pronunciations. So you had the top medalist coming out of the regional, Bard. Let me see if we can get this right. Bardskuggen. Yeah. Bardskuggen going low. -6. Not bad. Then we got Killam Scott. Scott. T2. -5. How'd you miss going -6 from -5? Yeah, I didn't hit a putt from 3 feet out. Ah. So yeah, Killam Scott and Bardskug. 5 years from now, you'll have a golfer from Ropesville. They are starting the program, so we're looking forward to that. I had a instructor at Texas Tech, and his thing in speech communications was dialect, and he could listen to anybody from basically around the world and tell you within 50 miles where you're from. It's pretty cool. Damon Kelly says Pink Floyd overrated. All right, make your case. You can state it. You can say Pink Floyd overrated. There are many iterations of Pink Floyd. We gave you Pink Floyd, the Eagles, and Led Zeppelin. Overrated, underrated, rated right today. But yeah, absolutely. Wilco. I got nothing on Wilco. So one album, if I were doing this, if I were presenting, it'd be cool. Like if you win the lottery and you could do this every year, you could like give kids, when they're crossing the stage and then you're off to the side going, all right, here's your 3 albums. One absolutely would be Rush Moving Pictures. To me, and even though it's early 80s, Rush had been around for a while. Kind of a prog rock to a whatever you want to do. And then Moving Pictures shows up. And to me, that is the definitive Rush album. Some people would argue that's fine. That's what we love about it. But you got Limelight, you got Tom Sawyer. There you go. So you get Moving Pictures. And it has the greatest album cover because on the album cover, it's a bunch of movers moving a painting across the street, moving pictures. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. Yeah. Number two. This is again, we all have our musical backgrounds and everything else, and what we're talking about now is top three albums you think every high school grad, college grad should own. Yours are going to be different from mine. Fire away, United Supermarkets, taking care of the communications. All right, so get in here. All right. Hello from Port Aransas, says one. Hello from outside the suburbs of Ropesville, Texas. So I would say that every high school or college grad needs Rush, Moving Pictures. After that, we are going to go a little bit, maybe too trendy, maybe too commercial, maybe not, whatever enough for some people. But it was a seminal moment in American music history brought to you by a British band who'd been touring the States and created the ultimate new romantics, new wave album. And I'm talking about Duran Duran Rio. That's right. Her name is Rio. She dances across the sand. Her name is Rio. Rio is a great album. Rio stands up. You can play almost any song today. You could put it on the radio, and kids wouldn't know, and people wouldn't know that it was done in 1982. It's still good music, but it had an impact. It had an MTV impact. It had a whole social impact. We were all trying to grow our hair like Simon Le Bon. We're all wearing the clothes and everything. That I would say that if you want to understand MTV music, 82 to 86, you understand the album Rio. Again, we're talking about albums that every high school or college graduate should have. Your reasons may be different from mine. That's fine. You can give me those. So I would go Duran Duran Rio, even though some of the earlier stuff they did, Planet Earth and The Chauffeur and a couple of things I enjoy more. That's a different deal. Third album, let's go West Texas. Let's go Joe Ely. This is really a tough one for me to choose from. You have three different live albums that capture Joe Ely. And as he said, after they released Live at Antone's in 2000 or so, they're like postcards from the road of where we were as a band. In 80, 81, you have Live Shots recorded in England. In 89, 90, you have Live at Liberty Lunch in Austin. And then Antone's, Live at Antone's in 2000 again in Austin. All three great. Lance, Jimmy Buffett Live at Fenway. Yeah, that's another good one. I've got that one. It's a good one. Really good. One of my favorite Buffett live recordings that I've got. So I have to decide between Letter to Laredo, which is an unbelievably complete studio album there in 94, I guess, 94, 95, or Live at Liberty Lunch. I go Live at Liberty Lunch because it encompasses Ely's 70s, late 70s, 80s into the early 90s, and it gives you a sense of where things might be going in the 90s into the 2000s. So if I had to settle on one, if I can only give one to a graduate, I would do Live at Liberty Lunch. That one, by the way, shout out to Camp Rock Cafe, the original on 34th in Indiana, the greatest jukebox ever. They had that on there, wore that out, $1 at a time, doing it back then. So albums you think every high school or college grad should own. Tech Baseball, Tempe this week. I keep trying to come up with different questions to ask you, but really it boils down to what do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen? Overrated bands, underrated bands. We do overrated, underrated, rated right Wednesday. 3 bands I give you: Eagles, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. Now, somebody earlier said said Floyd was overrated. I don't know, man. All 3 of them, I think, are probably rated right. And when we do this, people think you have to put one in one category and the other. No. You can rate them however you want to. So the Eagles, overall impact, Overrated, underrated. If I were going to do anything out of that group and say overrated, I'd say the Eagles overrated. I think they're good. Some of it's really good. They were the bastard stepchildren out of the NorCal movement, Flying Burrito Brothers, everything else out of California. Kind of came along at the right time. They really hated Rolling Stone magazine and played them in a softball game one time and beat them. But if any of that bunch would be overrated, I'd say the Eagles just ever so slightly, ever so slightly, ever so slightly. Floyd, I think Floyd is rated right. Some of their songs underrated. Floyd probably rated right. Led Zeppelin's hard for me because while Led Zeppelin has a lot of really good songs, and we know the immense talent that came together and formed Led Zeppelin and did other things, but they got a lot of songs that are crap to me. So if I had to lean to one out of that bunch that's overrated, I would probably go Led Zeppelin. And it pains me to do that, but they've really got a lot of bad songs. I mean, not as many bad songs as the Beatles had. The Beatles had a tremendous amount of bad songs, but everybody excuses it because, you got to love the Beatles. But we're not talking about that tonight. I'll probably go with that. Michael, Josh Abbott band, Small Town, Family Dream. If you graduate high school and going to ASU, it's a good album to bring a piece of Texas with you. ASU, who's going to ASU? You going to Angelo? Weird Al's Greatest Hits. Yeah, he had a Greatest Hits album? Really? Eat It? I mean, that was really good. You're not old enough to remember Weird Al at his peak. David Collier jumping on, KMAC 28 sports director. You hear him on the radio on, hold on, I'm going to screw it up every time I do this. On the end of the bench on the score on 100.7. I get it? Did I get it right? You're too young for Weird Al. Like a Surgeon, great song. Yeah, no way you were old enough. Hey, who's your if David's still here? Who's going to be your co-host tomorrow on the radio? I know. Jimmy Buffett live at Fenway is a good one. I'll agree with you on that. Albums you think, 3 albums you can give every high school or college graduate should own. I'll give you some of mine. Bob Brothers is fantastic. He really is. I think you guys are going to like this young man, Bob Brothers. He worked at a shoe store, near as I can tell, for the last 2 to 3 years. Then kind of went underground when things went bad at the shoe store. And now Bob Brothers is coming back to work with David Collier. So it's going to be David Collier and Bob Brothers from 9 to noon. Good God, how long is your show? You're on the air more these days than I used to be. I was on the air too much. Craig, horrible movie. Which movie? Horrible movie. UHF. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lord of the Highway, says Timbo on Favorite Ely. That's a good one. Does that have a letter to Laredo on it? I lose track. There's a couple of late 80s albums, 2 late 80s albums that I've had merged together. Can't remember whether it has a letter to Laredo. Great song, lasts 12 minutes. If you're ever DJing and you need to go take a crap, play that. That are Clan of the Zymox. 2 good bands that you could do. So, okay. Thought I was right on that. Sometimes Bobby Keys. If you're a Ely fan, Timbo, and I assume you are, get Joe Ely if you can find it. It's a really one-off deal live in Chicago. They recorded a show up in Chicago about 1988 or so, and Bobby Keys is playing sax, and it is really good. It's like a 5 or 6 song set. I've got the CD somewhere around here, I think. But see if you can find it live in Chicago. And if you're a fan of Ely and Bobby Keys, the longtime saxophone player for the Rolling Stones, who Mick Jagger hated Bobby Keys. Mick Jagger came out and said many times the worst influence on Keith Richards was Bobby Keys, the pride of Slayton, Texas, well before what's his name started the Cactus Theater type thing. But yeah, if you're getting blamed for Keith Richards' behavior, my God, how off the rails are you? Right? Holy crap! So it's live in Chicago. See if you can find it. Good stuff. 3 albums you think every high school and college graduate should have. You give us your take on that. Oh man, drink. I hate using that. Give us your thoughts on those albums that you would like. We have baseball tomorrow. Here's the deal: graduation weekend. Let's start tomorrow, 8:30. Ain't no way I'm coming at you tomorrow night at midnight on Diamond Talk. Okay. Friday night, son's graduation. Ain't no way I'm coming to you after that. Saturday, we will have at some point Diamond Talk brought to you by Thacker Jewelry, where your love story starts. And if not then for sure, Sunday we will have a Diamond Talk recapping the weekend, previewing the Big 12 tournament and all that good stuff. And then the Big 12 tournament next week, we'll have Diamond Talk, if not every single day, several times. Then we'll have a season-ending Diamond Talk on Friday the 23rd when the season's over. They're kind of done. Sucks, doesn't it? They're not going to make the postseason. They're not going to win the Big 12 tournament. And then we're going to have a lot of questions. But we're not going to have a lot of questions because at the end of the day, fundamentally, what do you want them to do different? And that's going to be a conversation we're going to have. What do you want the program to do different? Oh my gosh, they're not making the tournament this year. What should they do different? I have a few ideas, and I think they're probably already being addressed internally within the program, which is how you do it within the program. You do it internally. Last chance, few minutes. Albums. I want albums that every high school graduate should have. I want you to give it to me. Collier. We need to weird out. Come on, give me a legit one. Collier. David Collier, KMEC 28 sports director. Father of a high-level college athlete. Would you give her any music and anything? Take down there to UTD? Anything? It is baseball. There you go. It is baseball. I mean, after you say that, what do you say? Bach. Imagine some players are being encouraged to enter the transfer portal. You'll see that. I think you'll see fairly significant roster turnover, top to bottom. I do. Just a down year for the Raiders. Dallas has a down year for the last 30 years. Talking about the Cowboys, I assume. Yeah, the portal is going to be interesting. People keep talking like Tim Tadlock won't do anything in the portal. Have you not been paying attention to how many players and really good players they've gone and got out of the portal? Now, the portal and NIL may be two different discussions, but I disagree that NIL cost you everything last year. Everybody said, well, NIL cost you Hudson White and Molina. Neither one of those players would have made a damn bit of difference on this year's team. Sorry, they wouldn't. Well, what about Molina? Have you guys paid attention? Did you pay attention to? And I am not running down kids right here. I'm talking legit, real deal, high-level NCAA baseball. They kept him around as a Sunday starter at Arkansas as long as they could until they couldn't. And White was outcompeted for a spot. He left because he couldn't compete with Basebal. He wanted to try to be a starter every day, and he left. And guess what? He wasn't. So Eddie Murphy party all the time. I had a red jacket. I look good in it. Foreigner 4. Okay, so Foreigner 4, you got Jukebox Hero. Does that have I've been waiting on a girl like you to come into my life? Foreigner 4. I'm trying to remember if they had that on there, if that was off Agent Provocateur that came off a few years later. I think it was on there. Yeah. How good is this team if everyone is healthy? They're better. If Zane, is healthy, if you go up and down and say everybody's healthy, you got to think this is probably a legit 2 seed in the tournament. I don't know that maybe translates immediately to, hey, we're sitting looking at Texas Tech and 18 and 19 and going, yeah, this is a national seed and you're going to host. But I would say certainly a 2 seed. And with the Big 12 this year, that if everybody is healthy, vastly different. But you look up and down, the pitchers you didn't have, the innings you didn't have, the people that you had to move up, certainly that played a role. And there are people who hear that and say that's an excuse. No, that's a reason. That's a reason. That's not an excuse. That's a reason. Why did certain things happen? Well, here's the reason why it happened. Well, that's an excuse. Okay, do what you want. I don't care. From Washburn to, you just got nicked to death by mosquito bites in certain areas. But it absolutely played a role. I believe in the pitching. William Clark Green is live at Green Hall. Oh, to listen to. Yeah, I thought you meant like right now. But Jared, if everyone was healthy and we had these results for this past year, players would be bailing as it is. I think players will stay to prove they're better than what was shown this year. I disagree. I think you'll see players bail. You'll see a lot of them leave. You'll see transfers galore. You'll see transfers coming in. I appreciate your old school sentiment there, Jared, but I think you'll see an incredible amount of turnover. AC/DC Back in Black, Urban Cowboys soundtrack. Look at Po Nub and all the long paces. Looking Po Nub in too many paces. Leonard's Henry good. Green, white, checkered. Yeah, we went a little long. That's cool. Once Buckwheat sings a song, it's eternally his. Get these tonight on Saturday Night Live. Order now. Buckwheat sings the hits. Unts, Tass, Feed Times a Matey. Man, that's good stuff. All right, you guys are the best. We appreciate it. Got to ask you to do us a favor tonight. Everybody watching tonight, share this on social media, Twitter, Facebook, wherever it may be. We'll archive this on the website, theraiderland.com. We thank all of our great sponsors coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios tonight. We thank United Supermarkets, Boot City, one money, saving a mile outside the West Loop for all your Western wear. And when you're in Red River, you're eating breakfast there at yesterday's diner. You are, and you're going to tell D, hey, Raiderland sent us. We saw what he was eating there on Facebook, and my God, give us those breakfast enchiladas. And if you're looking to stay up the canyon a little bit, away from town, no phone, no TV, rustic. Tall Pine. I grew up on it. It's pretty good stuff. All right, we got to end it. We got to hit that button. And we got to hit another button. And it's real weird. But we hit all the buttons, and we'll see you tomorrow.